And now, a man who needs no introduction.
Hello, everybody. Hi, I'm Nat Schneider, host of The Full Hour. Welcome. Oh, hang on. Whoa. I'm actually not the host of Full Hour. I got to tell you, that was a mistake. I am the sidekick of Full Hour. I am not the host. That was a huge, huge mistake. I'm just quickly coming out here just to give you a few little minutes. I've got to be really clear with you guys. This is not part of the show, is it, Jack?
No.
No, exactly. Thank you. This is just
but
a little bit.
It is part of the film.
Yes, this is part of the film. So everybody
sorry,
smile for the camera.
Sorry, just before you, did everybody watch the first episode on YouTube? Yeah, good. Go on.
Cool, yeah, Jack. So this has got to be really, really quick. So I'm just going to tell you a few things. So when you first come to a show, like when you go to the theater, you're supposed to, you put your phone in your pocket, put your phone off, and that's a policy because you want to be all nice and hoity-toity and pay attention to what's on stage. But at Full Hour, that is actually a strict policy to not, I repeat, you must not put your phones off. You must keep them on at all times. For if you feel the urgency to, Instagram anything in your immediate vicinity and tag us at the Full Hour, that would be fantastic. Now, Jack, is there anything else we have to say?
This is the big giveaway.
That's right, the big giveaway, everybody.
The big giveaway!
Wow. Now, the big giveaway absolutely is a lifetime supply of Moondog beer.
Moondog!
Wait.
Fantastic.
Now, Nathaniel, perhaps you could let everybody know what exactly is a lifetime supply of beer.
Well, okay, so let me get this clear. We weren't probably clear earlier, but if you consume it all at once, that will be a lifetime supply of beer. So if you drink it and you don't stop until you stop, then your life will be over. So that's why this 100 beers from Moondog.
Moondog! Come on,
you.
join in. That's the point, obviously.
Now,
Wouldn't be
Jack.
doing this without you.
Thanks, Alex. Now,
Sorry, Alex, we're just trying to set the tone here.
Yeah, we've got to be really, really quick because there's heaps of things. This isn't even a warm-up. We've actually got a warm-up guest who's coming on. So, thank you. So, Jack, now how can people win the big giveaway?
The big giveaway?
The big giveaway.
How do they win the big giveaway?
Well, what they do is they take out their phones, like before, all right? They take a little picture of Robin Thomas when he comes, the host, Robin Thomas, when he comes out. Or, in fact, you can take a photo and just, at the Full Hour, whenever you like, and we're going to flick through Instagram.
Should we do a practice run?
Everyone want to do a practice run?
So,
Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Jack, show us how it's done.
Hello, it's me, Robin Thomas.
Yeah!
Thank you very much. Do you all like Moondog?
Moondog!
Well, if you want to win a
we got some
lifetime
people
supply, take out your phones right now. Right now.
Get them up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Preferably on Instagram.
So, guys, we really don't have much time, so the quicker you could,
Yeah, so just tag the Full Hour, perhaps Jack's Expensive Photos. We're very close to 100 followers.
Don't worry about Jack's expensive photos if you don't want to.
Sorry,
Definitely worry about the Full Hour.
I'm usually behind the camera, so I'm a bit...
Okay.
So, are we ready?
All right, on the count of
Everyone
three.
say cheese.
1, 2, cheese!
Cheese!
Yay! All
But
right,
just a reminder, this is not the show.
Yeah, no, right. So, Jack, so it's not the show. You're allowed to take photos. I think that rule was invented a long time ago. Definitely take photos. And the other thing is, the bar is, maybe not that bar, but that bar is definitely open. So get up, stand up.
Don't
The
leave.
show's going on. You're not going to miss that much, trust me. Imagine if you missed this. You'd be devastated, right? No, good. So, what else have we got? Jack.
Oh, we have to introduce
Michael Shafar!
Thank you very much. How are you guys doing? So Jack and Nat said, hey, can you come and warm up the audience? And then they warmed up the audience. It's like when my mum cleans before the cleaning lady comes over. And I'm like, I don't care, I'm still getting paid anyway, I don't give a shit. All right, I'll warm you guys up, but you're already warm. This is a cool gig because I've just been doing shows on a cruise ship. So that's how my career is going. And your laughter hurts a little bit. But doing shows on a cruise ship, it's kind of like this, except tomorrow we all have breakfast together. How does that sound? Does that sound good? It's fun. It's a good time. It's great. You guys will love it. You get to tell me which jokes you did not enjoy. So it's a good time for the audience. I'll tell you the best thing I saw on this cruise ship, right? I saw this older married couple having a conversation, and as they're chatting, a lady in a bikini walks past, and the husband loses complete interest in the conversation. He's just staring at this woman. But his wife noticed, because his wife just goes, Darren, 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 Darren. This goes for 15 minutes, by the way. Darren, Darren, you're 55, you're overweight, and you snore. Darren, I'm the only one that's going to sleep with you, all right? Never bringing the parents on a cruise ever again. They were very embarrassing people. Everyone's so drunk on a cruise because there's not much else to do, right? Like I like to play this game on a cruise called Drunk or Seasick, right? You watch someone stumble around, you're like, drunk or seasick, right? On the first day, this guy came stumbling up towards me, and I was like, hey mate, are you okay? And he goes, oh no, I'm fine, it's just like the rocking of the boat. But I didn't think so because we hadn't left yet. And he was wearing a beer hat and nothing else. So it was pretty good. Did I just get heckled by the backstage?
Wasn't me.
Oh, I got heckled by the drummer. You're meant to go ba-dum-tsh when it's like a... We'll work on the timing, but that's we'll try to recreate that in the future. That's what we're going to try and do. What was I talking about? I flew home from Edinburgh this morning, and I flew home on Emirates, right? Now, my auntie, she's Jewish. I'm Jewish too. That's how it works. And don't know why I explained that point. You're Jewish now too. Mazel tov. Welcome aboard, dickheads. This is how it works. That's funny. Like, it'd be funny if you went on a Friday night and you're like, no, I'm Jewish. I don't know why. On a Friday as well. I'll see you tomorrow at Temple. Sorry, I wasn't planning to say that, but it was just funny in my head. So my auntie, I'm Jewish, she's Jewish, and I flew home on Emirates, and my auntie says to me, how can you fly Emirates? Don't you know that they fund terrorism? I'm like, I don't think that's true. But if it is, that would make them the safest airline. You're not going to hijack your own plane, do you know what I mean? Like, that should be their selling point. That should be it. Just say, hey guys, fly Emirates, we don't even have security, actually. Like, bring as much liquid as you want. We don't give a shit. We're fine. From a terrorism perspective, Emirates is the safest, along with Malaysian Air. Is the CEO of Malaysian Air in tonight? Like, because, like, what's the point of taking down a Malaysian airplane? It's going down anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like a waste. You know, like, how could you get a terrorist to agree to that? Be like, hey man, I want you to bomb that plane. No way, man. That sounds like suicide. That is... One person enjoyed that joke way more than the rest of you, I've noticed. That's my crowd, 1 out of 150. That's it. I'm a Jew, and my girlfriend's Jewish as well because she has to be. And we bought our first house together recently. We bought our first place together. Thank you very much. We bought it in Caulfield because. Thank you. I mean, I didn't want to, but that's the law. So, so we bought our place there. And, you know, my generation, we're always complaining that it's really hard to buy a house. And look, it is very difficult, but I've got 3 really big tips that you can implement yourself. Right? These are my big tips, okay? So first of all, you've got to work really, really hard. Second of all, you've got to save up. third of all, you got to have rich parents, right? Like, honestly, if you can't afford a house, have you tried being born into wealth? Have you given that a shot? Like, it's pretty critical, actually. It's probably the only thing you really need. All my Jewish friends, like, they're all like buying their first house now. And so my social media is just them with a photo with their partner, with a soul sticker behind them. And they're always pretending like they bought the house, you know? And it's always the same caption. It's always, "No more smashed avo for us." You can still have smashed avo. Your dad bought the house. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if that was my kid, I'd be so pissed off. I'd be like, "That's my name on the mortgage, Jennifer." Like, I want the credit. That's bullshit. Our house is a very Jewish home. We've got a lot of Jewish traits to our house, right? Like, we're a 5-minute walk to a synagogue. Very Jewish trait. Instead of a roof, we've got a yarmulke. Very Jewish trait. We've got an altar outside where you can sacrifice Christian children. So, very Jewish trait. I got a Jewish friend, and she saw me do that. She saw me say that joke, and she said to me afterwards, "Hey, I don't think you should do that joke because it's kind of an anti-Semitic joke. And what if there is a Nazi in the crowd who hears it and thinks that it's true? So if there is a Nazi here tonight, just being like, I fucking knew it, just..." Thanks for supporting live comedy, first of all, because it's really hard. Can I just say, if you're a Nazi and you're enjoying my set, fuck, that is a big compliment to me. Like that, because it's easy for me to make a Jewish person laugh, but if a Nazi's like, "That Jew was good," that's the best review I'll ever get. That's huge for me. I made Nat laugh. Don't worry, just so you know, I'm going to stop soon, so don't worry. Some of you will worry. I'm trying really hard, by the way, not to reinforce Jewish stereotypes. I'm trying really hard not to do it. Like, if I see money on the ground, I don't pick it up anymore. That's behind me now. It's not fair. Because what if someone sees me? I can't pick up my own money, because what if someone sees me like, I fucking knew it. Like, no, it's my money. I dropped my money. If I drop my money, it's your money now. It's bullshit. I'm trying hard not to reinforce Jewish stereotypes. Like, if I'm watching TV with a friend, I won't change the channel because I don't want him to think that I control the media. I won't do it. I think the solution... I've worked out what the solution to racism is, by the way. I think the solution to racism is food. That's the solution. Because would you agree, like, you can't hate a group of people if you enjoy their food? Like, would you agree with that? You know, because like, we used to be racist towards Italians, and then we tried pizza and we were like, fuck, we fucked up. Sorry, this is fantastic, actually. You know, and then we were racist towards the Greeks, and then we tried souvlaki, and we were like, oh, we've done it again. Sorry, this is amazing, right? And then we were racist towards the Chinese, and then we were like, fuck. 40 dumplings for $1.50 though. That is very good value. Honestly, have all the property. Take it, guys. Honestly, you can have the property, you can have the baby formula. Take it all. Like, it's a fair trade, really, for all those dumplings. Hey, you guys have been very fun. Thanks for coming along and supporting this show. You guys pumped for a big night? Yeah! Yes, you guys have a pretty easy job. Just show a lot of love and support. Please put your hands together for the Full House with Robin Thomas!
Show, oh, with Robin Thomas. Said it's the Full Hour Show. Robin Thomas gonna talk to people show tonight. Where the band will play the music and Robin will talk. There's gonna be lots of guests, oh, tonight.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode. First things first.
Calm down, yeah.
I have not danced in a while. Put your hands together for Michael Shafar. That was a fantastic way to open up the show. Episode 2. Wow. Never gets any different. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. That the first time I pitched the idea of Full Hour, I always thought it was going to be like a one-night kind of thing. I never thought it was going to be reoccurring. I just thought that I was going to love you and then leave you. I'm sorry, this is the truth. It was my plan all along. I was going to wine and dine you, give you the night of your life, tell you how beautiful you are, how much of a connection we have, how the stars have aligned and we were just meant to be, and I was going to make sweet, sweet love to you all night long, and then the next morning, I was going to ghost you. I was going to leave you. But
He didn't quit it.
no.
I thought that's what you were saying.
But here we are again, and it seems like you want more. And to be honest with you, I think I want more too. So here we are in the same room again. We kind of like each other, but it's like some kind of awkward second date. We've slept together, and it was good. It was really good. I was really good. You were good too. And now we don't know if we're ready to commit. Like, am I who I say I am? Am I Melbourne's #1 live talk show host? Or will I crumble under the unbelievable pressure?
How about you, introduce the next guest?
Oh, yes, of course. We actually have a fantastic lineup for you tonight. We have Margaret Sinclair, who's going to walk us through all the policy on refugees in Australia and what we do as a community about it. We have Bella Green, who is an author, a comedian, and a full-service sex worker, who's also going to talk us through demystifying the complete, the sex worker industry. We also have David Splatt, who is a vaudeville sensation, international sensation, who's crossed the whole globe performing his vaudeville acts.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. And then we also have Lupine. Special band. They're a psych pop surf band. And they're going to play their new single, 1-800 Mum Dad, to close the show. So, without further ado, Alex.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, no, not too bad.
I want to tell you something.
Go on.
This is more a do, I think.
This is a do.
Cool.
We had a lot of feedback from the first episode.
Lay it on me.
And from all the feedback...
I can take it.
The overwhelming feedback was, if you're going to do this again, Robin, you have to have Alex back again.
Well, that's why I got a haircut.
So
I knew you wanted me back more than anything.
That's exactly right. Anyway,
When you
ladies
did that
and
monologue,
gentlemen,
you were talking about me, weren't you?
I was speaking directly to you.
It's funny because you weren't looking at me, but I wrote it all down.
I'm very nervous. I don't know how to speak to boys. It's just...
You'll learn.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Matchbox 60 and Alex Mansell.
Thomas, alright. Say
have any gigs lined up?
Oh, too many.
Too many?
Yeah, lots.
Lots?
Yeah.
You have one at the Gasso, am I right?
One at the Gasso, yeah. Well, it's sort of 3, 4 at the Gasso. Three different bands, 2 nights, 24th, 25th of August.
And then you also have one at Beast, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the 31st of August. That'll be a fun one. I dress in lycra and fur and just crawl around with face paint, just eating things off the floor.
So if anyone wants to see Alex Mansell and his numerous amounts of bands, you can find all his details on our new website, fullhourshow.com. Also, the links are in the description.
Yeah, right, yeah, it's in the description down somewhere
I think it's
here, right?
Yeah.
For those YouTubers at home.
Is that something I have to sort out?
Yes, Jack, that's your only job.
Wow, I think it's time we move on to our next segment.
The segment that I made because this show is too much about me and not enough about you.
Yeah.
Schneider Shams.
Woo! Schneider Shams.
Okay, Robin, so before we start Schneider Shams, we did it last time, but let's keep everyone up to date. How does Schneider Shams work?
Well, I'm going to give you things that I find within the community that are absolute outright shams. And we're going to figure out whether or not they are indeed a sham, a Schneidy sham,
right,
or if they are, well, just good business.
Okay, so if it's a Schneidy sham, that's a good thing because you and I have
discovered something that is a sham. We're just excited that we've found something that's
preventing you guys from making any more mistakes.
That's exactly right. It's a positive thing.
And if we can't agree on it, and you think it's a sham and I think it's not a sham, then it's just good business. And that's unfortunately. All right. So we've got 2 buttons here, right?
We do. And there was a bit of confusion last time about the green and the cream.
Sorry, what?
Well, the green and the cream, but we changed it to...
You keep saying green. Are you doing that deliberately, or are you...
The point of comedy is not to highlight the gags. It's just to roll with them.
Okay.
So we have the green,
and the cream.
And we changed it to bechamel and pesto.
That was really confusing because I don't know why not pesto is. But
you don't know what bechamel is.
You don't cook, do you?
No, I cook, just not bechamel. I don't cook bechamel.
So I was thinking maybe on the count of 3, you could pick a name for one of the buttons, and then I could pick a name for the other button.
All right, so on the count of 3, you select a name for this, I don't know, what do you call that?
Blue and yellow.
Yeah, blue and yellow combination.
Yeah.
Like that. This one here, I'll be responsible for coming up with a name for that.
Okay,
that so on the count of 3 or after 3?
After 3, because I need time.
Okay. So on the count of 4?
On 4, after 3. All right?
And you're doing...
the yellow and blue one.
Cool. All right, ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3, forest. Wonderful.
Well done, well done. So we got the forest
and the beach.
Now, if I press the forest button, because I think that is a Schneidy sham.
You think it's a Schneidy sham?
That's going to sound a little something like...
Schneidy sham.
Beautiful.
And if you think it's just good business and it's not a sham and, it should just continue to exist, you
press the beach button.
That's just good business.
So, Robin.
Yes.
I've got
the first sham.
All right, cool.
I've got it right here.
All right, tell me.
I'm going to hit you with it.
Okay.
Reusable straws.
Reusable straws.
They're marketed as a good thing. A stainless steel straw that you can just continue to reuse.
Of course.
You don't have to use plastic straws.
There's wastage.
It's wastage. It's great for the environment. They say it's fantastic. You'll never have to use a plastic straw again. You can just use stainless steel reusable straws. Seems pretty legit, right? Just seems like good business.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Wait.
Okay.
Now, something can't parade as environmentally good if it's useless. No one needs a straw. You can just drink your drink. To make something that is useless to be environmentally friendly is absolute madness.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that the straw was invented to help people drink, but they don't really need that.
No, they can just drink. So reusable
Robin.
straws.
Schneidy sham.
Schneidy sham.
Well done.
Thank you.
We got to the bottom of that.
My second one, Nathaniel, is doggy treats.
Doggy treats?
Doggy treats.
Okay, hit me. Tell me something about doggy treats.
Now, you've trained a dog before, right?
No. No, you've trained a dog.
I've trained a dog,
I
sure.
watched you train a dog.
Yeah, I've trained a dog.
That's right.
I did not use treats.
No?
It just sits when I tell it to sit.
It?
Ask it to sit. She, when I ask her to sit.
Cool.
The dog.
No. The dog, yeah.
The dog.
Okay. So what's
When
the
I
treat?
ask the dog politely to sit, she sits. When
Politely? What happens if you're aggressive? You're like, sit.
She gets angry and walks out.
Well, a well-trained dog.
No, but what I'm saying, can my dog be a male?
Can it?
Yes.
Can you have dogs?
Yes, it's a male now.
Okay.
So when I ask my dog to lie down, it lies down. Now, I've gone to the park and I've seen people ask the same commands. Ooh, that was loud. I see them ask the same commands.
Politely? Are they speaking politely?
Whatever. But then they pull out a treat and they go, sit, and the dog just goes and sits for the treat. My microphone is just falling off. It's ridiculous.
That's all right. We'll do that next.
Ask it politely to stay.
Let's wind this one
Let's
up.
wind this up.
All right. So,
all I'm saying is that I would sit for a donut. like I would do anything for a donut.
but then it works, Robin.
someone-
That's good business. You're a trained donut sitter.
No, but that's not a trained dog. That's just a dog that'll do things.
I'm
for
sorry,
donuts.
mate. That's just good business.
That's just good business.
Doggy treats, you need them. All right?
I really thought that was going to be a Schneider sham.
I know you did.
I know.
Yeah, that had me going.
One more?
One more. We've got to hurry this thing along. Leaf blowers.
Male or female?
Leaf blowers, I've never used one personally. I've only seen them used. And it just seems like you turn them on and you just blow your problem over somewhere else. There's no solution to the leaf blower.
Okay, so you're saying the leaf blower
Yes.
is a problem solution. Yeah?
That's
bear with
exactly
me.
what I'm saying.
You're saying a solution to a problem is a leaf blower because you've got a problem over here and you want to move it over there. Is that what you're saying?
Really dynamically.
Really dynamically.
Wah!
Whoa! Yeah. So you're saying it's a bit excessive for something you might be able to do with the wind. Is that what you're saying?
If you're so inclined, you can use the wind.
All
Is
right.
it a sham or is it just good business? We've got to move this thing along.
That is a Schneider sham. Sorry, before we finish Schneider shams,
Yes.
do you mind if I present my own?
Sure. I mean, the segment is about you, but
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
know, but-
really...
Surely I must be the master of Schneider shams, right? So I'm going to
You're
give you the
deliberate-
buttons.
Oh, no.
Okay. Hold on. Hold tight. Don't
Yes.
ignore
Okay.
this little set change here.
All right.
Robin.
Yes.
Now, my Schneider sham is going to the free sexual health clinic in the
Okay.
city.
Okay, how is that a sham?
No, if you don't have any problems.
If you don't have any problems,
Oh,
it's
bear
a
with me.
sham.
Hold on. Because I'm not saying the health place is a sham. I'm saying going there if you don't need to is a sham.
Why would someone go if they don't need to?
Because they got peer pressured, maybe? Not me. Actually, it was me. I'm going to tell you a story. So I went there just because someone said to me, Nat, have you ever had a sexual health check? And I said, no. Of course, why would I? And they went, oh! And I was sitting there with egg
Yeah.
on my face because the whole table was like, you're disgusting. You
Yeah,
can't
you're
do
gonna-
that. You can't. And I was like...
I agree. I think
was
I was
like-
on that table.
Yeah, I was like...
We all were.
Yeah, we're all... It was at a full hour meeting.
Anyway, so then I went to the social health check clinic place.
Yes.
And they sat me down and they said, okay, Nat, so it's good that you're here.
Yep.
We're going to ask you a few little questions.
Sure.
Now, have you engaged in any homosexual activity
Mm-hmm.
sexually? And I said, no, I haven't. They said, okay, so have you engaged in sex with a lot of different partners recently? I said, no,
Yep.
I haven't. Okay. Are you experiencing any symptoms or anything like that? And I said, no, I haven't. I said, so why are you here? And I said, peer pressure? And they said, you're an idiot, and stubbed the needle in my arm.
So you're saying peer pressure is a...
Oh, you forget everything I said about stuff. I'm going to go with my Schneider sham is peer pressure.
And it's just good business. Which colour?
That's just good hard-dicking business.
Well, there we go.
So our next guest, Margaret Sinclair, she works for RAC, which is Refugee Action Collective. I'll let her speak about it in more detail, but this is a woman that has been speaking to people on Nauru and Manus daily for the last 5 years. For the last 22 months, she has been protesting every Saturday morning. This is a woman that cares about this issue, that is an expert on this issue, and I look forward to meeting her and talking about it in more detail. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Margaret Sinclair.
Now it's time to learn a little thing or two about the world. We're gonna learn a thing or two. Let's get serious.
Welcome, Margaret. How are you?
I'm pretty well, thank you.
Yes, we've had a couple of microphone issues before the show. You might have heard the large bang that happened during Michael Shafar's bit. We actually had to trade microphones. One completely turned off. It all didn't work. So Margaret has proudly, she ripped off her microphone. She said, Robin, have mine. Please, you're the host. I'll just take a handheld. So she's here with a handheld, unfortunately, but may I say it looks beautiful on you.
Thank you. I'm pretty much used to holding a microphone sometimes at rallies, so
That's it.
more comfortable with this.
So tell me a little bit about RAC and how you fit in with it.
RAC is a totally grassroots volunteer organisation. Anyone's welcome to come along to the Monday night meetings, which are held at the ANMF house in Elizabeth Street. And we try and organise to make a change to the policies and to the laws that are affecting refugees. And we do that in a variety of ways: rallies, forums, we have rack stall, various places around Melbourne and here tonight, and just have a chance of talking to people about what's actually happening in Australia's detention centres.
And so I guess it goes without saying, what is happening currently? What is the major kind of crisis with refugees at the moment?
Well, I think the biggest crisis is that people who were sent to Manus and Nauru have been there 6 years, and they don't really have a way off the island unless they are able to resettle in the United States or unless they are medevaced to Australia.
And so what does medevac mean? And I've heard a bit of medevac. The medevac bill is currently being debated, am I correct? Or
Well, it became law in February of this year.
Okay, so describe what the medevac bill is for everyone here.
It's law that means that the decision for someone to be taken to Australia for medical reasons, medical treatment, is in the hands of doctors rather than bureaucrats. So it's up to 2 doctors to agree that someone needs to be taken to Australia for treatment, and then the minister is supposed to approve that, pending on security checks and that type of thing. And so far, approximately 100 people have come to Australia under that bill. A week or so ago, Scott Morrison, the new Australian Prime Minister, in the newly formed Parliament, said we want to get rid of the law, and in the lower house they passed, I suppose, the decision that they would repeal it. But it's not repealed until it goes to the upper house and gets debated there. And that's not going to happen until November because they're going to have a Senate inquiry into it all first.
So with the 2 major parties that we have, what are their stance on refugees? What are the differences between them? And why is there such a narrative kind of being played about these refugees?
It's a very big question. So the narrative is that I suppose people who were sent to Manus and Nauru and who have come to Australia, they've been demonised by both sides of politics. They're called country shoppers and queue jumpers and all sorts of things, and it delegitimises their claim for asylum. And their claims are very much real. And both sides of politics have played into that narrative, and it really is all about changing or getting the general public to perceive refugees as threats or as people who are not deserving of refugee status or in some way a fake or something like that. And it's quite destructive to the people who have sought asylum.
And is it only people that seek asylum through like a boat that are put on these islands, or is it the other methods?
Well, we're an island, aren't we?
Yes.
There's only two ways of getting here, unless you want to swim a very long way. So it's by plane or it's by boat. They're the only two ways of people arriving. You can go on the Australian Parliament House website and you will find that it says that no matter what way a person arrives, they won't be discriminated against. Mm-hmm. Now, despite that being there on the website, anyone who arrives by boat is supposed to go to or be sent to Manus and Nauru. And anyone who arrives by plane avoids that, and they have a chance of living in the community on a bridging visa and putting in their claim for asylum while they're free.
So what do you think it is about this whole boat? You know, I mean, what's different about it? Because I remember, I don't know when it was, but probably when I was getting, coming cognizant of political environment throughout the country. I don't know, it was like a John Howard election, and he was talking about stopping the boats, and that was obviously on the Liberal side of things. But there was some strong opposition from the other side, and now we've come 10, 15 years down the track, and I feel like I went to the election booths the other day and was like, I can't vote for someone who doesn't want to stop the boats. Do you think there's a reason why that's happening? Like, could you put it into words at all?
I don't know why politicians are hung up on boats. I really don't.
Yeah.
There's probably been a bit of a history of, Vietnamese people coming on boats, and I suppose there's this big fear factor of somehow or other we're going to be invaded, which we're not. Very few people really come on boats. It's just, I think it's terribly sad that we are treating people badly based on their mode of arrival. Mm-hmm. People who arrive on boats, people who arrive by planes, they've escaped the same dangers. Mm-hmm. They've escaped the same wars, they've escaped the same persecutions, torture, most horrific things that are happening in their home countries. And I think it should be irrelevant. Yeah. It doesn't matter how someone arrives. Let's just have a look at the claim for asylum and judge it on that.
And so I think when you hear stories that you tell, Margaret, and you see images like this, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with the amount of things happening. And it feels like, especially with social media these days, when you see such an array of problems, you're quick to feel insignificant. And I wonder, what things do you do to make yourself motivated, or what things can an individual do to help the cause in a small way or in an achievable way?
I don't know that any small action can be insignificant. All of the actions are important. It's about the persistence, and I'm quite sure that in the end we will win through. People can do all sorts of things. So, like for me, for instance, I protest every Saturday at Belgrave at the roundabout for an hour, and that might sound a strange thing to do, but we take photos of ourselves, we send that to our local politician. We are constituents, we should be heard by our local members, and so that's not insignificant. in a great many ways, detention centres are supposed to be invisible or not seen or so remote that nobody knows what's actually happening inside them. So to always shine a light on what's happening in there, to get the photos out, to get the videos out, to keep talking to people, there's a million things that people can do.
Maybe something like just taking any information you get with a bit of a grain of salt, considering that there are a lot of different powers that are controlling the media, the way the information is distributed. So, yes, you might hear something about, well, I want you to believe in what we're talking about. But obviously, you know, someone's going to say, stop the boats, oh, you're Clive Palmer, you can't do this. It's like, well, you know, you've just got to resist reacting, I think, sometimes to these sort of inflammatory remarks that you might hear.
There's a lot of inflammatory remarks out there, and some of them are very, very racist and very destructive. And I think, what can you say if it's so ingrained in someone's psyche that somehow or other boats are bad or refugees are bad or something like that? Because mainstream media have had a lot to do with that government narrative of saying that we're being invaded or being flooded or somehow or other there are refugees who are playing the system. And that's not the case at all.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Margaret. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. If anyone is interested in RAC or in Margaret's story, I'm sure Margaret will be around talking to you all behind the stall over here. If you have any questions or if you just want to continue the conversation. Also, if you go on the Full Hour Show website, you can also find links to all the great things that Margaret and her team and RAC are doing. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Learning a thing or two about the Now let's get back to the show.
That was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I will definitely be going to check out more and maybe even joining Margaret Sinclair one Saturday morning and braving the elements. And taking a couple of photos. So I'll make sure that we post about that on Instagram, and you can come and join me, and we can spend a Saturday there.
Yeah, we can do a little segment.
I think that'll be really great.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to support RAC, I should also say there are also badges and T-shirts and donation bin. If you feel so inclined, there's that as well available. What do we have next, Nat?
Well, we've actually got a little bit of a promotional video that has been given to us by some of our friends at the Very Good Looking Initiative. And
they have a show on in Fringe Festival in a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's called Batmania. It's a two-part show. You can either go to a bus tour, or you can also go to the 2019 Batmania Expo. And they've just launched today, so they've got their promotional video. Let's have a little watch.
Let's check it out.
Do you want to know the greatest place to go? Beach culture and fresh air. We'll take you there. Batmania, there's lots of family fun. Batmania, kick back under the sun. Batmania, sandy seagulls here to greet you. Batmania, and friendly locals too. Great weather all year round by the seaside playground. Fair dinkum, it's a tough stay. Kangaroo snorkeling wine, bus tours all the time. Crikey, it's my kind of town. Batmania, your stay will be amazed. Batmania, forget about the haze. Batmania, you'll never leave, never want to leave. Batmania.
Wow, there we go.
There you go. As with everything tonight, the links will be in the description and on the Full Hour Show website.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Bella Green.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be performing 10 minutes of comedy.
Right.
And then having a little chat to us about the sex work industry. Alex?
You want us to give it a little introduction?
Why not? Everyone put your hands together
Well, let's hit
for
it.
Bella Green.
Full hour show. Full hour show. We're gonna get into a little bit of comedy. Whoa. Full hour show. It's a full hour show. Got lots of that variety. We're gonna stop as soon as this phrase ends, and I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
Oh, thank you so much for making me dance uncomfortably. I loved it.
What we do.
That's beautiful, thank you. I'm Bella. When I was a kid, I didn't know anybody else called Bella, but when I got to high school, there were two of us. So we called her Isabella and me Bush Pig. Just so we didn't get mixed up. It was quite helpful. I'm going through a breakup at the moment. Is anybody going through a breakup? A few of you. It's tough. It's a really hard time. My girlfriend and I had been together for like 4 years when we split. And I've learned like quite a bit about myself going through the process. Because I identified as a lesbian before we split quite firmly, but I've been dating men since we broke up as well now, so I think I might actually be lonely. I think I sexually identify as, yeah, why not? No, that's not quite fair, is it? Like, I do like men. I'm attracted to men, but I just don't think I could connect with one on the same level I could, like, with a woman. Like, men are fun and they're kind of playful. It's like having a puppy. I don't want to fuck them either. I have been masturbating a lot lately. Does anyone like to have a cheeky maz? Oh. I feel like this part of the room doesn't know about it. You should give it a try. It's really good. I was getting a little bit reliant on like porn and vibrators and all of the bells and whistles though. And I don't know how healthy that is, right? So I'm trying to scale it back. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing the paleo maz. It's pretty much what it sounds like. You just do it how your caveman ancestors would have done it. That's with a chicken bone. Preferably in a national park, but it's not like a deal breaker for me. I have a lot of sex. I work in a brothel. I am a sex worker. That bit's not a joke. It's just a bit you have to get on board for the rest of the jokes, just to be clear. People normally say when I work in a brothel, the main question is like, are you safe? Is that a safe job? And I feel very comfortable telling you that unlike Karen from finance, all of my sexual harassment is negotiated and paid for up front. It's so handy to get it out of the way at the start, you know? I used to work at nice brothels in the city, but I've been working in the industry for too long now, so I've been moving further and further out into suburban brothels. And I can't help but wonder if I'm gentrifying brothels. I think I might be. I'll pull up for my first shift at somewhere like the Love Palace in Craigieburn. I'll park my Yaris in the car park. And I walk in with my soy latte in hand. I've got my stretchy earlobes, and I kind of look around. And like a regular brothel in the city just kind of looks like a nice hotel. But not this place. This is like the real deal. It's like thick red sticky carpets. There's a disco ball in the corner. There's a cigarette machine. And I just walk in and I'm like, oh my God, this place is so authentic. No, you guys, this is so cool. This is like a dive brothel. I'm going to bring all my friends here. And there's like 5 women working there, all called Rhonda. And they know that I'm about to push the property prices up and they're going to have to move further out into the suburbs. But like the culture at a place like that does change by way of someone like me turning up. Like the Love Palace used to be a rub and tug, and now there's an artisanal wristies menu. It's like, would you like a coconut oil lube for your hand job, sir? Perhaps an avocado oil lube. You already own property, you can treat yourself. Eventually they'll get rid of the wristy menu altogether and they just start serving you up like one of those wooden platter boards with like an artistic smear of lube down one side. They just get you to do it yourself. That's called a deconstructed wristy. Oh, you guys are too nice. It'll be $200. Go fuck yourself. Guys that come into brothels always think they're very different to every other guy that comes into a brothel. They're like, you must get some real weirdos in here. And I'm like, no, they're pretty much all just exactly like you. Sometimes they're like, you must get asked to do some really freaky shit. That's how you know in 10 minutes' time, they're going to ask you to do some really freaky shit, you guys. I always ask when someone comes into the brothel, have you been here before? And everyone lies. Every single person has the same answer. It's, yeah, once, but it was a really long time ago. Which I find quite funny because that's what I say when I'm at the chemist and I'm trying to buy something a little bit fun that they might not give me, like pseudoephedrine or codeine. You know, the chemist is like, have you had this before? And I'm like, once. It was a long time ago. It's certainly not a habit, if that's what you're trying to suggest right now. I give a lot of thought to the expression couldn't get a root at a brothel because it's not actually true at all. Like, people can't get a root at a brothel every day of the week. And sometimes it's about money, like they're cheapskates and they want to haggle. But most of the time it's just because they are so rude to everyone when they come in that we all just decline to have sex with them. They are so surprised we're allowed to say no, you guys. It's awesome. And no one ever, like, politely leaves when they're declined service. They'll, like, throw a massive tantrum and say things like, I didn't want to fuck any of you anyway, while they storm out. A bit like me at the chemist. You know, they take your driver's license these days, and like every chemist is a chemist warehouse, and they can all already see that you've had Codral Original Formula 3 times this week already. And they say, no, ma'am, we won't be serving you anymore. And instead of leaving politely, I say, fine. Just so you know, I don't normally have to pay for it. And I didn't want to fuck any of you anyway. It did get me thinking though, right, if couldn't get a root at a brothel is not accurate, like, I'm sure there are a bunch of other expressions we just take for granted. I was considering couldn't organise a piss-up in a brewery, because I feel like that would actually be a pretty hard place to organise a piss-up, like that's somebody's workplace. I think they have like OH&S rules around stuff like that, probably also responsible service of alcohol. I also don't think guys that brew beer would be very easygoing piss-up organisers. This is just a theory I've got, right? I don't think anyone's casually turning up to your piss-up with a slab of VB. There's going to be like a lengthy debate about what the best wild yeast limited run Belgian sour is. If you guys can't tell, I don't know what a wild yeast limited run Belgian sour is. I had to ask my mate for help with that joke. He brews beer. He does not care for that joke at all. He's like, no, it's not about occupational health and safety. It's about maintaining a completely sterile environment in the brewery at all times. Everything has to be sterilised. The taps, the tanks, the fixtures, the filters. If the different strands of yeast cross-contaminate, it's all over. And I'm like, nah, man, I obviously get that. It is exactly the same at my workplace. Thank you, guys. You're fucking delightful. I'm Bella Green. Thank you.
Yeah. You want to come sit down?
you, Bella.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, tell me a little bit about, is it a fellowship at the Wheeler Centre?
Yeah, some literary people are giving me some money to write a book, which is really awesome. So I'm, working on a collection of, like, funny stories about working in brothels, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's part of a greater narrative of what you're trying to do currently? Like,
I don't know if I'm trying to do anything. I just thought I was funny at some point, and people agreed with me, and I was like, I'm just going to keep doing stuff, and it just kind of keeps happening.
Yeah.
Like this. So,
yeah, exactly. You said, yeah, sure, I'll be on a live talk show.
Yeah, you said to us actually that you might be able to demystify the sex work industry for us. Like, obviously you already did. And,
I was going to say, I think I covered that.
Yeah, you did.
I guess my question is what are the benefits of demystifying the industry, and why is that a positive step forward?
Oh, I think because there are sex workers everywhere. Like, I think most people are surprised when I say that I do sex work because you don't really know what a sex worker looks like, you know? Like, you've got a kind of fluffy jacket, high heels, fishnets, no head kind of image that the media gives you, but, like, we're everywhere. And, yeah, I think people understanding sex work and that not being so stigmatized means we don't have to hide as much. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are scared about I guess if it demystifies and if it becomes more part of society, there is this other element, you know, when you talk about, in your stand-up set, you said rub and tugs and things like that. Where there's a lot of sex trafficking, and does that encourage, you know, where's the line between legal brothels and things, and the kind of illegal industry, and how do they balance each other out, I guess? I'm
not like a super legal expert. Okay, I don't know any law stuff at all, but from what I understand, New Zealand and New South Wales have the best models. They have decriminalised sex work. Yeah.
Sorry. There we go.
Bella Green!
the best, yeah.
Basically, it varies from state to state in Australia, and we have legalisation here, whereas decriminalisation means it's kind of treated like any other industry with rules and regulations, but it's not a crime, basically, to be paying for sex if you're consenting adults. So that's what I think we would like here.
What do you think, where does this idea that it's a crime come from? Was it a crime? It was a crime.
I mean, it's still a crime in lots of places. It's still illegal in South Australia.
Okay.
It's not technically legal in Western Australia. I mean, America, you can't even enter if you've been involved in prostitution in the last 10 years. So there goes my trip to America. I think everyone's seen my face now.
And you're at the Writers' Festival?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing a really cool event. So if you want your love life and sex problems solved, I'm doing the Take It From Me panel at the Melbourne Writers' Fest, and the audience submit questions, and we give totally uneducated advice back.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Bella Green.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
I'll grab it.
Thank you.
That was really informative. That was great. But Robin, I just want to, just a quick check-in here. Now, the lifetime supply of beer, that's still being given away later on, is it?
Yes, well, I think you said in your opening preamble that there were 100 beers. And so that doesn't really sound like enough.
But we're encouraging to drink responsibly,
when we were saying,
Robin.
well, you could say that it's a year's supply of Moondog beer.
Moondog! That was... You guys have got to give me more warning.
All right. It really doesn't feel like a year's supply of Moondog.
Moondog! It's your
but
cue too, remember. We're in this together.
But if there's 100 beers and you drink responsibly, which is 2 beers a week, that is about a year's supply of Moondog.
Moondog!
But we'll talk a bit more about that at the huge giveaway.
Okay, right, so...
The big giveaway?
That's right, Jack, but...
Later.
Later.
Yeah, who gave him one of those?
My microphone doesn't work.
That's my
Jack's
thing.
does. Now, I gave you a challenge, Nat. I gave you a challenge to bring me an element.
That's
an element
right.
into the show. I was thinking fire. I was thinking mud, food, water. What have you got for me?
Robin, I've got for you, once again, electricity. Oh, God. Alex, if you please, would you give us the introduction to the electric truth?
Electric truth.
Robin,
Yes,
those are your cue cards, aren't they?
they are my cue cards.
Cool. I wanted to ask you one question because you get to do all the interviewing, you know? And so I thought, well, why don't I give you a question that is going to be hard-hitting, is going to be exciting for the audience to hear, and also, what if I strapped you to an electrocution device which could sense whether or not you're lying, and in the case that you are lying, just kill you. You happy with that? No worries. All right, so let me get down here a little bit. What we have here, everybody, is the secret electric machine. Now, I bought it online. I bought it online. It was from Amazon. It was roughly $10. So if you want one yourself, then obviously you can afford it. Now let me just turn it on. Oh, here we go. Now, Robin, I need you to
I'm
place...
not doing it.
What do you mean?
I don't want to do it.
Yeah!
This is Nate's segment.
Oh, Ben. All right. Put your hand on it.
I can't.
All right, put your hand on it.
I can't.
I'll be there with you.
No.
And we'll get shocked together.
No, you won't. It's vibrating.
Robin, it's not
It's already
vibrating.
doing it.
It's not doing anything.
It is.
Don't answer.
Ah!
All right, it's okay. We'll get there. Electronic truth. All right, here we go.
This is not what I meant.
Robin, this is one question and one question only. Answer it now. Answer it truthfully. Are you or are you not Melbourne's #1 live talk show host?
I am. I think I am. It didn't go off.
Oh, so he was telling the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Out of all the things that I was nervous for this show, like monologue, guests, interviews, questions, this was the only thing that I didn't want to do.
Really?
So I'm glad.
You didn't really have to do it because...
No, I know. Thankfully, you bought something that didn't work.
That's right.
Again.
Again?
Nothing.
Well, that's a picture of sex work. Let me move on to the next one. That's right, that's a picture of you.
So...
hang on, what? You didn't like the electric truth, did you?
No.
So,
I'm a bit frustrated with you, Nat. I got to be honest.
Okay, well...
You keep bringing these segments that I'm not happy with. And I want to show you what a good segment is.
Okay.
I want to show you what you can do with a whole segment. So I've got someone, David Splatt.
David Splatt?
He came third on Australia's Got Talent in 2009.
Whoa.
What has your segment done? He has traveled the world, performing in multiple different countries. And you know what he does?
What?
You know what he does, which is better than any segment you've ever presented before?
Well, sorry.
He plays the saw.
The saw?
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for David Splatt, playing the saw.
Hit it, boys. David Splatt, David Splatt, playing the saw. Everybody's gonna be entertained.
child of mine.
Take the legs from some old table. I'll take the arm from some old chair. I'll take the neck from some old bottle. And from a horse I'll take the hair. I'll take your hands and face from off the clock. And baby, when I'm through, I'll get more loving from the dum-dum dummy than I ever got from you. Get me some legs, get me a chair, and a bottle too. Give me a horse, give me some time, and baby, when I'm through, I'll take the legs from some old table. I'll take the arm from some old chair. I'll take the neck from some old bottle. And from a horse, I'll take the hair. I'll take the hands and the face from off the clock. And baby, when I'm through, I'll get more loving from that dum-dum dummy than I ever got from you. I get more loving from that dum-dum dummy than I ever got from you. Yeah, mama, I get more loving from a dummy than I get from you.
David Splatt, everybody. Now, something's not sitting with me right.
What?
Something's not sitting with me right.
It's not sitting with you right.
No, it's not sitting with me right.
Is that a sentence? Is that?
Is it? It is. Something's not sitting with me right.
Something is not sitting with me. Something. What is it?
Something doesn't sit right with us?
No,
something's not sitting right with me, obviously.
All right, let me start again.
Okay.
Something's not sitting right with me.
What could it be, Robin?
My English.
Okay.
Also, I said at the start of the show that I was, the first show I was full of empty promises. And something that I really want to, like, I feel disappointed because, yes, someone is going to win copious amounts of beer.
What kind of beer?
Sponsor, Moondog.
Moondog!
And part of the full hour is that you don't leave empty-handed.
No.
I want people to leave full-handed.
Right.
And sure, there's nothing under your seats. I know. But what I was planning was to break a world record.
Okay.
I know. But don't get too excited. It went miserably. The world record was going to be the loudest when you open a can. And I was going to distribute them to everyone here, and we were all going to cheers to episode 2 of the full hour, but Moondog so generously supplied beers, but not in cans, but in bottles without screw tops. So wait, I've figured out something. It's not as good as the but it's something.
Okay.
So I'm going to return to my earlier point, which was a lifetime supply of beer. Because I went to the newsagents the other day to buy a scratchy, and I said to the man, he said, which one do you want? And I said, the winning one. And he said, I will give you the winning one. I will give you the winning one so long as you don't scratch it. If you scratch it, it's void. You haven't won what you... This is wild. I don't know what's going on that side of things, but there is someone screaming at everything. He's got the winning scratchy. And so I've kept this winning scratchy in my wallet the whole time, and for the rest of my life, I will have a winning scratchy in my pocket, and I'll live my life like that. And I think it's the same way with these unopenable bottles of Moondog, is that if we hand them out tonight, Moondog.
I'm off.
Oh, sorry. If I hand out Moondog to everyone in the audience tonight.
Moondog!
Sorry, I've got to give you more warning. I don't know when I'm going to say it.
You got me here thinking about this goddamn scratchy. I'm so lost.
That
Let's
if I give you... do you want to start distributing the beers?
Start distributing the...
I'll start distributing
Moondogs! Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool.
That if I give you...
That way we can't stuff this up anymore, right?
If I give you an unopenable beer and you keep it with you for the rest of your life, you will have a lifetime supply of Moondog in your cupboard.
I'll take that one. You don't want that one.
If the band would like to help distribute the Moondogs, this is going to take forever.
Moondogs?
If Nat and Jack just do it.
I'm filming.
Yeah, take one, pass it back.
Take one, pass it back.
While this is happening, I just wanted to let you all know that we're so appreciative of you coming down on a freezing rainy night and day. And you've braved the elements and you've come to the full hour to support us. I also want to say thank you to our sponsors. We have a couple at the moment. We have Creative Cubes that help us with all our online content. We have Moondog. Moondog. We have Moondog that help us with all our alcohol needs. We also have Melbourne Coffee. We also have some Keep Cups there, Upper Cups. And am I missing any, Jack? Any sponsors?
I'm against all sort of corporate influence on the show, so don't ask me.
Creative Cubes does help us with all our online content.
Thank you.
So coming onto the show now is an indie band, indie pop rock surf band, Lupine. And the one thing I didn't think about when I started a talk show was the amount of space bands need in comparison to how much a talk show needs.
Hi, I'm Nat Schneider, sidekick of the full hour.
I see some of you are drinking your lifetime supply. No.
There's more down here.
Kept it closed.
That's it.
Thomas, while they're setting up, do you want to... So, how long have you guys been a band for?
We're just actually talking about that. I think it's actually been a minute now. It's been maybe like 5 years, I think. 5 years
of being a band?
Yeah.
And your latest single, 1-800-MUM-DAD, how did that come about?
That's a good question.
So I think we should request a bit of hush from the crowd, Robin.
Pardon me?
Let's get a bit of hush from the crowd.
Hush from the crowd, especially the guy that screams at everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it,
Yeah, Billy will chime in, the more confident part of the duo.
Yes, please.
This song is about Tom, coming to my house when you were about 14. He wasn't allowed to come over, so he would sneak over, and he would come on his little skateboard or on a scooter, and he would sleep.
Any means necessary.
And he would sleep in my wardrobe to hide him from my parents.
At 14?
Yes.
What age did you meet?
At 14.
14.
We've been together for a long time. Anyway, that's what the song's about.
There you are. Yeah.
I think we're still plugging things in.
Yeah.
And what's next for the band?
We're actually recording tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
What are you recording tomorrow?
So we have an EP that's, hopefully will be out by the end of the year. So, we're just kind of just
recording it.
Yeah.
Recording it. That's exactly. Do you know what the EP is going to be called at all, or still a work in progress?
Yeah. No idea yet.
No idea.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been
Thank you.
Robin Thomas, host of Full Hour, Melbourne's number one live talk show, sidekick Nat somewhere. That was Cameraman Jack. Here he is. Thanks to Matchbox 60 as always. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to you for coming.
Do you want to?
And good night. This is Lupine with their new single, 1-800-MUM-DAD.
Into the night unchanged by the rope and stayed past the taste claim by growth and decay through the shadow flame the street lights blade to you I never came with so much to say. Riding slow through suburbia, bongo flows in Abkhazia. Riding slow through suburbia. Overdose nostalgia, yeah. Into the night untamed by the road and stayed past the barricades blaze and the stress they convey. Riding shove through suburbia, every shadow's a murderer. Riding hope through suburbia. I gave us money because I died for you, yeah. that hardwood floor to find the telltale heart in the stone. You pull the rug from under me, feel the floorboards underneath, and I cried out so that hardwood floor. Find the telltale heart in the stone.
Thank you very much. We're Lupine. Thanks. And thank you, Robin, for having us, and everyone. Thank you.
Are we done? Is there more?
There's no more.
The show's over?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the full hour. Thank you very much.
Nat, I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, what's that?
So we've sort of established this concept where we're sort of always in character, where the show's always on. So I feel like if our microphones stay on, the audience won't know that it's time to leave.
That's okay, because this is still part of the show, right?
This is part of the show. We didn't even...
No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I should explain. We're just setting the tone. We're about to start the show. We've got Michael Shafar coming on.
Yeah, sorry, that's right. So everyone, make sure to turn your phones on. Leave them on, all right? So take a photo of me, hashtag...
Lock the doors.
At the full hour, lock the doors. Make sure you get some few drinks. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Shafar. Sorry, this is actually the end of the show, and we're just fucking around.
Please.
So
we're so
everyone,
tired.
please have a really good night and leave, like now. Yeah. No, stick around and have a beer out there. Have a moondog. Ba-dum-ba. Moondog.
But seriously, leave.
No.
Yeah.
Stop. If you don't leave, we can't leave. Please. Please, we've dug ourselves a really deep hole here.
Yeah.
It's...
House music? What about some house music?
Please.
I've got you.
Don't sing that. It makes it worse.